In 1955, a baby was born in San Francisco and given up for adoption. His name was Steve Jobs. He grew up in a small garage home, raised by kind but simple parents. He wasn't rich. He wasn't a genius in school, but he was endlessly curious. As a child, he'd take apart radios just to see how they worked, not to fix them, but to understand them. He didn't fit in anywhere because he was meant to stand out. It was 1976. Two young men, Steve Jobs and Steve Wozniak, were building computers in a small garage. No big investors, no fancy office, just passion and vision. Their dream, to put a computer in every home. They called it Apple. Jobs sold his van to fund it, and soon their invention, the Apple I, began to change everything. But it wasn't just about machines. Steve wanted to build something beautiful, something that felt human. Within a few years, Apple exploded. The Apple II became a revolution. And by his mid-20s, Steve Jobs was a millionaire. But money never mattered to him. He said, "Being the richest man in the cemetery doesn't matter to me. Going to bed at night saying we've done something wonderful, that's what matters." He demanded perfection. He was intense, impatient, sometimes impossible. But his obsession for excellence created magic. But then came betrayal. In 1985, the board of Apple, the company Steve had built, decided he was no longer fit to lead. He was fired from his own company. Just like that, the visionary was shown the door. The world saw a failure. But Steve saw something else, a chance to begin again. Instead of giving up, Jobs created two new ventures, Next and Pixar. Pixar would later change animation forever, giving us Toy Story, the world's first fully computer-animated movie. And through those tough years, he learned patience, humility, and focus. He once said, "I didn't see it then, but getting fired from Apple was the best thing that could have ever happened to me." In 1997, Apple was dying, near bankruptcy, and the company did something unthinkable. They asked Steve Jobs to come back. He returned not as a boss, but as a savior. He brought with him a simple idea: think different. Soon after came the iMac, the iPod, the iPhone, and the iPad, devices that would redefine how humans live, work, and dream. He didn't just rebuild Apple, he rebuilt the future. Then, life threw its final challenge. Steve was diagnosed with cancer, but even as his body weakened, his mind burned brighter than ever. He worked until his last breath, designing, dreaming, and leading. At his last presentation, he said, "Your time is limited, so don't waste it living someone else's life." In 2011, Steve Jobs passed away, but legends never really die. Steve Jobs changed how we connect, how we create, how we think. From a garage to the stars, his journey proved that one dream can change the entire world. He once said, "The people who are crazy enough to think they can change the world are the ones who do." And so he did. He changed everything with just one bite.